Dr. Ranjan, can you tell me why the name AI Chef Academy? What does it mean?
There's a story behind it. When I was writing my book, my days used to be very long because I was also doing my regular job. So I'd start my day as early as 5 a.m. in the morning, we'll start writing the book, and then the day will end really late. I like cooking, so cooking used to be my only abode where I can de stress. And while cooking, I realized two things that connects it with AI. First, in both cooking and in AI, several things come together to make your final solution. And the second commonality was you can either be a cook or a chef. A cook can follow a recipe and make a food, while a chef understands the fundamentals behind each component of that recipe and makes something extraordinary. Similarly, in AI, if you understand the foundations or fundamentals of each of the AI component, then you make something extraordinary. And I wanted to be such a chef in AI and also help everybody I can to become chefs of AI and hence AiChef Academy.
So, Dr. Chitta, what do you cook?
I cook mostly Indian. I create a lot of things by myself also. I follow Ranveer Brar, he is my inspiration. I watch almost all of his videos, and the reason I like him because he tells the fundamentals of how food works, why he's doing what he's doing, and I learn a lot from him. I have created most of the things that he has, and also created a few new things out of things that I learned from him. But to answer the question, I cook mostly Indian food.
Dr. Ranjan, so can you draw inspiration for AI from just cooking or anything else as well?
From any form of art. AI is an art. To do something in an art, you have to first learn the art and learn its boundaries so that you can push those boundaries. That's what you do in any form of art you are learning, be it dancing, music, poetry, painting. In any one of these, first you try to get the fundamentals, understand the rules, the boundaries, and when you get a master of those, then you break those rules, you break those boundaries to create something extraordinary for which people will remember you. And similarly in AI, AI is just an art like those. You learn those boundaries, and one day you'll push those boundaries to create something extraordinary.
So, it's incredible that children can draw inspiration for AI from any form of art they love. Dr. Chitranshu, what will be the impact of teaching AI to children?
Let me give an example from Newton. I brought an apple with me. There was one such apple which fell in front of Newton. And while most people, when they would have seen such falling apple, they would have thought of grabbing the apple and eating it. But Newton thought of a hidden force which is causing the apple to fall, and he ended up discovering the law of gravity. It was his knowledge that enabled him to see things that others cannot see. Similarly, our children are just as attentive as Newton. Imagine what our children can discover and invent if they are given the right knowledge. AI is one such knowledge. AI has the power to solve most of the critical challenges that we face today. So, if we teach our children AI, we never know. They may be solving most of their problems for a better future for all of us.
Thank you for bringing this apple, Dr. Ranjan. I will keep it.
Please.
Dr. Chitranshu, I have also seen you bringing some very interesting props to your classes. I have managed to get hold of some of them, and I have them here with me today. Some alphabets, a tennis ball, and also a mini car. So, what is this about?
You missed my remote car and large dump truck that I really love. I used these to explain some concepts more easily. For example, the remote car I used to explain dy by dx, which is used for almost every AI model training. I used the large dump truck and these ABCDs to explain a concept called long and short term memory. I used this tennis ball to explain the difference between machine learning and deep learning, and this card is just for fun. So, Bharti, I bring these props because my students, they may forget all the slides or whatever I write on the whiteboard, but they don't forget when they see any of these props. So I just be innovative and try to help my students take away most of it what they teach.